Susan Sarandon, one of Hollywood's most fearless actresses, known for her Oscar-winning performances and outspoken activism. But behind the fame is a family story of love, divorce, and 3 children who each carved their own path. To understand the full story of Susan Sarandon's family, we need to step beyond the headlines and into the lives of those who knew her best. 1. Chris Sarandon, the former husband. Before Susan Sarandon became a household name, she was a young actress married to a man who was also on the rise. Chris Sarandon, born in 1942 in Beckley, West Virginia, studied theater at Catholic University of America and later earned a master's degree from the University of Connecticut. In 1967, while Susan was still in college, the two married. Their relationship would last for 12 years, a period that saw both of them build the foundations of their acting careers. During their marriage, Chris established himself as a versatile and respected actor. He first drew widespread acclaim for his role in Dog Day Afternoon, 1975, playing Leon Shermer, the transgender partner of Al Pacino's character. The performance earned him an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor and put him firmly on Hollywood's radar. He went on to appear in a variety of films that showed his range, from the villainous Prince Humperdinck in The Princess Bride, 1987, to lending his voice to Jack Skellington in Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, 1993. By the late 1970s, however, the marriage had run its course. Susan and Chris divorced in 1979, amicably but permanently. Though they went their separate ways, Susan chose to keep his surname, and it became the name under which she would gain worldwide recognition. Chris himself remarried, eventually wedding actress Joanna Gleason in 1994, and they have remained together ever since. He also continued his acting career, appearing in film, television, and stage productions for decades, building a reputation as a character actor with both dramatic and comedic skills. Today, Chris Sarandon remains active in the arts, occasionally performing on stage and participating in conventions tied to his most iconic roles. While his marriage to Susan ended over 40 years ago, their time together marked the beginning of 2 remarkable careers. For Susan, it was the launch pad of her Hollywood journey. For Chris, it was the first chapter in a long and diverse career that earned him critical respect and a devoted fan base. Their union may have ended, but it forever linked their names in the history of American film. 2. Eva Amurri. Eva Amurri, born on March 15, 1985, is the eldest child of Susan Sarandon. Her father is Italian director Franco Amurri, with whom Susan had a brief relationship in the 1980s. Growing up in New York and later Los Angeles, Eva was surrounded by the arts from the very beginning. With a mother who was one of the most respected actresses of her generation and a father involved in film, the stage seemed set for her to follow in their footsteps. Eva began acting as a teenager, appearing in the 2002 film The Banger Sisters, alongside her mother. The meta aspect of the project, real-life mother and daughter playing fictional ones, highlighted the connection and the legacy she inherited. She went on to build a steady career in both television and film. Some of her more notable credits include Saved, 2004, the Showtime series Californication, and recurring roles in shows like How I Met Your Mother and Dead to Me. While never a megastar, Eva has earned respect as a working actress with a career on her own terms. Beyond acting, Eva has built a strong presence as a lifestyle blogger and influencer. Her blog, Happily Eva After, covers topics like parenting, style, and everyday life, resonating with audiences who appreciate her honesty and relatability. Through her online work, she has established a different kind of celebrity, less about red carpets and more about connecting with followers on a personal level. In her personal life, Eva married former soccer player and NBC sports broadcaster Kyle Martino in 2011. The couple had 3 children together before divorcing in 2020. Despite the split, Eva has embraced motherhood wholeheartedly, sharing candid reflections on parenting with her audience. In 2023, she married chef Ian Hawke, marking a new chapter in her life. Today, Eva Amurri balances her roles as an actress, digital entrepreneur, and mother of three. While she carries the weight of her famous surname, she has created her own space in the modern entertainment landscape. For Susan Sarandon, Eva represents the continuation of artistry, but also the evolution of what it means to live in the public eye in the digital age. 3. Jack Henry Robbins. Jack Henry Robbins, born on May 15, 1989, is the first of Susan Sarandon's two children with actor Tim Robbins. While growing up in a household with two Academy Award-winning parents could easily have pushed him toward acting, Jack instead gravitated behind the camera, building a career as a filmmaker. His path reflects both the creativity of his parents and his desire to forge a separate identity. Raised in New York City, Jack was immersed in the arts from an early age. He studied film at Brown University and quickly began producing shorts and documentaries that revealed his offbeat humor and sharp sense of satire. One of his early works, Hot Winter, a film by Dick Pierre, 2016, was a faux pornographic climate change documentary that played at the Sundance Film Festival, earning him attention for his irreverent and experimental style. He followed that with VHY's 2019, a nostalgic and surreal comedy shot entirely on VHS and beta tapes, which further established him as a filmmaker willing to take risks and push creative boundaries. Jack's work often blends satire, nostalgia, and social commentary, reflecting a sensibility that feels very much his own. While Susan and Tim have appeared in his films in small cameo roles, Jack has consistently emphasized his independence, noting in interviews that he wants to succeed or fail based on his own vision rather than his parents' reputations. Outside of film festivals, Jack has worked on projects for television and digital platforms, collaborating with networks like Funny or Die. His versatility allows him to move between experimental shorts and more mainstream opportunities, but he has never strayed from the quirky humor and inventive storytelling that define his style. Though far less publicly recognizable than his mother or father, Jack Robbins has carved out a respected place in independent cinema. He represents the next generation of creativity in the Sarandon-Robbins family, proof that the artistic spirit can manifest in new and surprising ways. For Susan Sarandon, his journey underscores her legacy not just as an actress, but as the matriarch of a family where art and storytelling continue to thrive. 4. Miles Robbins. Miles Guthrie. Robbins, born on May 4, 1992, is the youngest child of Susan Sarandon and Tim Robbins. Like his brother Jack, Miles grew up in New York City surrounded by film, theater, and activism. But unlike Jack, who chose a career behind the camera, Miles pursued a more public life, balancing both acting and music. His career has been marked by an unconventional spirit, something that feels very much in line with the free-thinking values of his parents. Miles first explored music, becoming the bassist and lead singer for the psychedelic rock band The Tangents. With his long hair and eccentric fashion sense, he embraced a bohemian style that recalled the countercultural spirit of the 1960s. His music, infused with experimental sounds, reflected his love of pushing boundaries and creating outside the mainstream. At the same time, Miles pursued acting. He appeared in a string of indie films and gradually moved into larger projects. His breakout role came in the 2018 reboot of Halloween, where he played Dave, the comedic best friend in the film's teen group. That same year, he appeared in The Comedy Blockers and in the critically acclaimed psychological horror Daniel Isn't Real, 2019, where he starred as Luke, a troubled young man grappling with an imaginary friend that becomes dangerously real. The performance earned him praise for capturing both vulnerability and intensity. Known for his openness about identity and self-expression, Miles often rejects Hollywood stereotypes. He has spoken candidly about exploring gender fluidity and refusing to be boxed in by labels, a perspective that aligns with his mother's lifelong commitment to progressive causes. His offbeat persona and willingness to experiment make him stand out in an industry often dominated by convention. Today, Miles continues to balance his careers in acting and music. While he may never seek the global stardom of his parents, his choices reflect a deliberate embrace of independence and creativity. For Susan Sarandon, her youngest child represents the continuation of a family legacy defined not by conformity, but by a willingness to take risks and live authentically.